Okay, go ahead, William.
Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha.
Okay.
The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I have come to hold and receive it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning.
Okay. Okay, last time we stopped right here, I guess. The three, we finished the three, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yep. And we talked about the dosage part, just as dosages of medicine are a portion to cure.
Okay, analysis.
And we did that paragraph.
Okay, start from this next is 7.
The next is 7, the classification by category, chapter, and assembly. There are 12 canonical categories as described in the verse. Prose, repetitive verses, and predictions. Interjections, spontaneous speaking unrequested. Causes and conditions, analogies, as well as past lives' deeds. Deeds of the present life, expansions, what was hitherto unknown, explanations, altogether making up 12 terms, as in the great Shastra, chapter 33.
Good. Stop right there. Do you understand the 12 canonical category in Buddhism? In we have 3 buckets, right? You remember?
Mm-hmm.
The first bucket is sutra. Second bucket is the precepts, right? The precepts, or the rule, the law, right? We have another word we call. I forgot the word they use, but the third one is the satya, right? Satya.
Shastra.
So the first one is the sutra. They have 12 different category, canonical category. That's what they pose, repetitive verb, prediction, interjection. Okay. Do you know what do they mean by prose?
Prose is the parts that are not in verse form, and it kind of is like this right here is prose.
Okay, here, yeah, they explain here. This is all this thing here we got prose, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and in the sutra, usually the Buddha used the prose and the verb, right?
Yeah, like most stories are written in prose, but like poems don't count as prose.
Okay.
Generally, they're written in some sort of special, like rhyming pattern. But prose is just sort of kind of normal writing.
Yeah. Okay. Now I think it's we can go ahead and read here, and they will explain each one. I think. Let's go.
Oh, cool. The various divisions of the sutras are prose, the ordinary form of language, and repetitive verses, which repeat what was said in the previous prose. Predictions are given by the Buddha to a particular bodhisattva or a particular arhat. Interjections, often in verse form, are not related to what comes before or after them. They stand alone and are said to be interjected. Spontaneous speakings unrequested. Almost all of the sutras spoken by the Buddha were spoken at someone's request. An example of one spoken without a request is the Amitabha Sutra. You shouldn't think the Amitabha Sutra is a short sutra of slight importance. It was spoken by the Buddha without request. The reason no one requested it was that no one understood its principles. The Dharma door of the Pure Land is so profound that the wisdom of the Arhats and Bodhisattvas could not understand it. The greatly wise Shariputra acted as the person it was addressed to and came to ask the Buddha about its principles, but the Buddha brought it up first. It was a spontaneous speaking, unrequested. Causes and conditions is another category.
Good, stop right there. Stop right there. So, what do you understand so far?
Yeah, well, like I've seen these patterns in other sutras for sure. You know, I go over the Lotus Sutra, and prose and verse are very present there. And I think the reason for the repetitive verse is that it helps with memorization.
Right.
This is true.
Just summarize the Rivet teaching, right?
And the parts where there are mechanisms within the verses that aid memorization that I think were done intentionally. We see this also in like the Odyssey by Homer, where it was memorized and then passed from person to person orally. And the bards that would perform it, they'd perform it all from memory. So they had different like things in the verses to aid that. And because historically monks would memorize large numbers of sutras, and like some of these would be like really long sutras, that I think the repetitive verse was really important to help with that.
Actually, in Theravada, they are very good at that. They in the past, most of the monks, they because they know written, basically they memorize it and they pass down from one generation to the other. Since the Buddha entered the Nirvana, so it's incredible.
The person who holds the world record for longest memorized text used a Buddhist sutra.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. I think if you looked it up, I think it's what's that, the record, Guinness World Records. I think Guinness World Records recorded it, unless someone has beat him. But a few years ago when I saw that it was, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. But well, they are that with the Buddhist Theravada, the Buddha teaching is also long, right? But compared to the Mahayana, it's not long, but it's still long to the worldly book, right?
Oh yeah. And I think it was a Mahayana sutra. It might have been more than one sutra that he just went from one and then went to the next. And like it was a very impressive amount of time that it like took to recite what he had memorized. Maybe it was like 13 hours or something.
Wow.
I don't know.
13 hours?
I don't know. We should look it up.
Oh yeah, go ahead and yeah, here I give you you can say. Okay, let me
it's
see.
been a while, but I recall it just being
Okay, go
very
ahead and say.
impressive. So let's see. Memorization. Let me see, Buddhist Sutra. Because it looks like there's a few different ways. Art of memory, world record for memorizing text. Wait, where'd that go? Okay. The Guinness World Record of 1985 has this entry. Yeah, Vedanta Visitsara recited 16,000 pages of Buddhist canonical texts in Burma in 54. Oh, so this probably was Theravada.
Huh?
Probably was Theravada, right? If it was in Burma.
No, they are Theravada. They are not not Mahayana.
Yeah, so Theravada. But yeah, there you go.
Wow.
2.4 million words.
Oof. Oh my goodness. That's an excellent memory.
Yeah, I wonder how long it took him. I'm gonna point the polygon. Yeah,
It's amazing.
yeah. So
The blessing they have is beyond.
yeah, that's very impressive.
I could not be able to remember. I'm sorry.
I've slowed down quite a bit. I'm almost at a standstill with making progress on my memorization. I haven't given up. I'm maintaining what I have, but I'm really slow in making more progress.
Okay. Okay. So the prediction given by Buddha to particular bodhisattva, and you remember the prediction that this bodhisattva going to be the future Buddha, whatever, in the Lotus Sutra, right? So on and on. Okay. Interjection often in the verb form are not related to come before or after them. So they are just like they are stand by itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are not related. The previous or after, they are more stand by itself. Okay. Sponsors, this is okay. The sponsors speaking unrequested. This is the most of the time when the Buddha, before the Buddha teaching any sutra, right? Their disciple will request the Buddha to give the lecture. So that is the most of the time that happened. But for the situation of the Amitabha Sutra, because the Pure Land, it's beyond the wisdom of the Arhat and the Bodhisattva itself. That's why no one know to ask. They don't know how to request that teaching. So the Buddha have to do it, but he have to wait for the right time, right? The right time here is you remember the Ajaka too, right? He's the one who killed his father. And and during the time that his father is still in the prison, and the mom was very suffer so much because she what kind of offensive karma she prayed in the past to have this kind of son that killed his own father, and she said that this world is all suffering, no, nothing is good. So she want to asking the Buddha and his disciple come over to help her out. So and at that time she requested is there any word that they no suffering at all? Mm-hmm. And the Buddha said yes. And so what he did is he emit his light throughout the 10 directions. And Numrut word system in all 10 directions appear in front of her, in front of her audience, just like you watch the TV, with a lot of different word system, just like the flashing quickly, and and she be able to see all, and she be able to decide by herself. And finally, she the one who picked the Amitabha Pure Land. And that's why we have the Pure Land and the Amitabha Sutra.
So it was kind of like it was requested, but it wasn't requested specifically. It was requested indirectly.
No, this is called a condition. Due to the condition, it would trigger this. But it's not request, basically, because the condition is the queen very suffer due to her son. And due to that, what she requests that the way which word is no suffering at all, and this is the Buddha given. Yeah. So, and the Lotus Sutra is also another one.
Yeah.
Because no one can request that, right? So this is
And it says very particularly in there.
mm-hmm.
It says, "My intention is hard to fathom, and no one can question me. No one can question me.
Right.
No one questions." Yeah, you yourself preach.
Yeah, they don't know how to request that thing, and
Yeah.
I'm okay. And we now here understood the principle of the Dhamma Bodhisattva. Okay, got it. Analogy. Okay, so the next one is the cause and the condition. Oh, this is easy, right? Cause and the condition. So we learn all the cause and the condition. Everything you understand in Buddhism that due to the cause and condition arise, there exists. Right? Thing will come into exist.
Yes.
When the cause and condition end, the existing form will turn into end. That's what we call birth and death. Does it make sense? Right? Cause and condition. And we learn this in the 12 link, right? And you know that the cause is the thing that in the past. Condition is the current thing that we pray. And also the current thing we pray called the condition as well. It's called the cause for the future. Does it make sense? Yeah. So the current condition is the most important because regardless, cause is the good cause or the bad cause, but the condition is not good, it will turn into the bad effect. Even though you have good cause, but bad condition, because the cause plus condition, it gives you the effect. The combination of cause and condition give you the effect. That's why the cause and the condition together, it will, when it arrives, it will form the existence. That's what we call effect. In traveling, right, the cause were ignorant, right? And when we go to the mental, but it's also the it's also the condition. Okay, the mental formation is the condition, right? Well, the ignorant due to the condition, it will trigger the mental formation. So the condition, it trigger the cause to go into the effect. Okay. Analogy. Let's see what is analogy here. Okay, go ahead.
Analogies are used in speaking Dharma when one fears living beings will not understand. Past lives deeds means what happened during the past life of a particular Buddha or a given Bodhisattva. Deeds of the present life are what has happened in their current lifetime. Expansions and what was hitherto unknown, along with explanations and what was hitherto unknown, along with expansions and what was hitherto unknown, along with explanations, altogether make up 12 terms. Those are the 12 canonical categories. This door considers how many classifications, how many chapters, and how many assemblies there are to the Flower Adornment Sutra, that is, its various categories. This is interesting. So the overall picture of this chapter, I'm very curious, or this door, when we get to the section of the sutra, I'm very curious like how this looks exactly. Is it sort of like a summary of other parts of the sutra, but like putting it into categories, like, okay, in this door it talked about the Buddha's past lives and the Bodhisattva's past lives, and then in this door it talked about the Buddha's present life, and they were like, I'm curious how that shows up in that door.
Okay, okay. This is not the third. Okay. The next, okay, the next is the 7 classification. That means or from the 4 door to the 7 door, right? No, the 4. The next is the 7. Where the 4? Oh, the 4 is the potential covered by the teaching. The 5 is sadness and the depth of the teaching substance. The 6 is the pervasiveness and the unique. And M7 is the classification. Okay, got it. So this is the 7. The classification by category, chapter, and assembly. When they're talking about the door, okay, let me go at the beginning, the 10 door. Okay, let me see. Okay. General analysis into the 10 door. Okay. 10 doors follow. One is the cause and the condition for arrival. Oh, okay, got it. This is talking about how how this sutra, right? In the first door, they're talking about the cause and the condition for this teaching. All right. Right?
So does that mean that at the beginning of the sutra, it addresses the first door, and then it addresses the second door, and then, or are like all of the doors represented at different points in the sutra?
I don't know why they use the door in this situation, but I try to understand that. But basically, this is the way before the Dharma master want to speak any sutra, they have to set up the framework for the how the sutra. That means they give the information about the sutra, how it arrived. That means the sutra come into exist, right? That means the teaching where it come from, and who were the hosts, and who were the audience, and so on and so on. And in that sutra, so basically the first one is this is the cause and the condition for arisal of the teaching. That means this is the teaching, right? And this teaching is especially I've been said for them to speak, and certainly must be cause and condition. Okay. Oh, okay. The Buddha, when he speak the Dharma, always they the cause and the condition for him to speak. Okay, so I think it's after he enlightened, so the first 21 days after he enlightened, and he think that he just discover the most important profound teaching that he from the enlightened that he got, and therefore he want to bring it out. And who were his audience? The great Bodhisattva. So okay. The second door is the store and the teaching which it contains. Okay. Second door. To what store the belong? Okay, second door then consider what store the flower dome sutra belong. It's affiliate later it discussed in detail. Okay, so this is the 5-period teaching. But in here, the small teaching, initial teaching, final teaching, certain teaching, the first teaching, and this could be the first teaching, but in Vietnamese they have a different way of saying the 5 period. This is the first period. This sutra speaking is the first one, and the next one is the Theravada teaching. The third one is just like the Sugan Gama. All the sutras relate to the true mind. That is the third period. The fourth period is the Heart Sutra. That means the true emptiness, right? The fifth period is the Lotus Flower and the Maha Nirvana Sutra. Because that is where the Buddha said that all living beings have the Buddha nature. So basically, they point out, okay, this belongs to which period, I think. And the third one here, do kill respected and just like the dosage of medicine on to kill so to the meaning and the principle, okay. So depend on the sickness of the living being, the right medicine will be given. Next is 7. Why they skip 4? Oh, okay, 4 is the potential. I mean, the teaching is the teaching. Potential cover mean that the kind of living in the altar. The potential cover by the teaching. Okay. The teaching is the teaching of the flower dome, because we go through this one in the past, and now we come back. I have to reanalyze it. Okay, the teaching is the teaching of the flower dome sutra. For those with the potential cover mean the kind of living being are taught. Okay, that means different type of living being. That means the different type of different level of understanding. The sutra, just like in the sutra, the Lotus Sutra, the Buddha is talking about the raining, right, into the forest. So, but I don't know why they go in here and they give us this kind of. Let me try to understand. 5, the sadness and the death of the teaching substance, they acceptance to the teaching, same as physical, that's how a human lies. I understand what you are asking. I'm not too sure why this thing is talking here. Okay, that's okay. We can go forward, and later on, when maybe after this, I will look into the depth and see what the whole purpose of this thing here.
Okay. So like in your, because you've done recitation of it, it's not like the 10 doors. It sounds like maybe they're present throughout the sutra, and they're not like you do one door first, and the whole like initial text only addresses that first door, and then there's the next section is the second door.
Oh no, not
All
like that.
kind of mixed throughout the whole sutra.
They are maybe, I don't know why this kind of 10 door here, I don't see much. Well, they have some related in general, but for example, this thing here, it really, yeah, this thing here, the first one, this is the core teaching of this sutra.
Mm-hmm.
This is the core teaching of the whole sutra. In the whole sutra, this is one of the most important of the sutra. But this level is for the great Bodhisattva and Buddha, not for us. But we can be able to use science to be able to understand the teaching. Okay, maybe we keep going. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Okay, analysis. Okay, go ahead. Analogy.
Okay, didn't we do the analogy? We did the analogy section.
Oh, we did. Okay. So, what do you understand about analogy?
Yeah, analogies are helpful in creating understanding because sometimes when we're learning something new, it's difficult to understand. But if we can use an example of something we're familiar with, then it makes it easier. Like the analogy of why some people get more from the teachings than others, just like plants. Some plants will take up more water. They just have deeper roots. They're bigger plants.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. The 10 door is not only talking about this sutra, but in general.
Yeah, all sutras, right? They have all of these.
Sutra. They are not specific sutra.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it.
These are just the 10 doors that the Buddha uses to help living beings to follow the Buddha way.
Right, that's correct.
Okay.
Mm.
And then there's also discussion about past lives of the Buddha or bodhisattvas or the present life of the Buddha. And again, those can be very instructive, like the story of when the Buddha first developed the Bodhi mind or compassion.
Right.
You told that story quite a bit. That's a great one. And same thing, there can be events in the present life that are also instructive.
And many Buddha past life as well, the Bodhisattva past life, right? Those story, that is one of the category. They call the past life deed category. Okay, and the deed of present life, it means that is another category. It happened in the current life. That means the Buddha and the Arhat and the Bodhisattva, right? His disciple. Expansion, what were he told and know, along with the explanation, all together make up the 12 terms. Those were 12. Okay. Expansion, what will he told and know, along the explanation. You understand that?
Well, I'm trying to understand what numbers we're on here.
Yeah.
Is expansions like expansions and what with his or the two are known and explanations? Those are the last 3 of the 12, I think. Or are expansions and what hitherto unknown together?
Oh,
okay.
Okay, this is the one, right?
Mm-hmm. There's 2 there. Yeah. So they're 3 separate ones.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what it means by expansions. I would tend to think it would be sort of similar to expounding, like expanding upon something, an idea. If the Buddha introduces a teaching and then expands on it, like applies that teaching to different scenarios to help people better understand it, that would be my guess, but I'm not sure what expansion would be.
12 phần giáo. I I will look into the Vietnamese term, the 12 calories. But this one right here, you know what does it mean?
What was hitherto unknown, in multiple sutras, it will say something along the line of having gained what they never had before.
Yeah.
So some sort of new experience, new understanding, new insight.
That they never experienced before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Explanation, that means the sutra with the explanation, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. All right. So where we are. Now we go to 8.
8 responses and insights in transmission and translation. There was the transmission from India to China, and now there is the transmission from China to America. In the future, there will be a further transmission from America to India. How can that be? Now that the Buddha Dharma is coming to America, India will start to take it seriously again. At present, Buddhism does not flourish in India. Long ago, all of the high Indian monks and patriarchs ran off to China, leaving India with no patriarchs. The monks, bhikshus, shramanas who were left over in India all lacked ability. None of them could fly, unlike Patriarch Bodhidharma, who crossed the Yangtze on a reed from the southern shore to the northern shore. They lacked that talent, but most of them were good at eating, and they were very lazy. From morning to night, they wanted to sleep. Therefore, the people of India took one look at them and said, "Those are just rice-devouring worms, big rice bugs. So that's what Buddhism is like?" Consequently, the Indian people who had begun by believing in the Buddha withdrew their faith, saying, "Do you see that? None of the people who have left home cultivate. It's all meaningless. There's nothing terrific about Buddhism." It went on like that, one person who did not believe transmitting that disbelief to 10 people who would then disbelieve. When 10 people not believing, 100 people came not to believe. 100 people passed it on to 10,000, and 100,000, 1 million, 10 million, none of whom believed. Those kinds of causes and conditions gave living beings a bad impression, so that they all stopped believing in the Buddha. Yeah, I mean, this makes sense. It can go the other way too. Where a person can be a good example and then someone can be inspired and they can then lead other people to also believe and be inspired. But it works either way, and I think that's one of the reasons why the Buddha developed so many different guidelines for the monks, because the Buddha knew that this would be a strong likelihood that would happen, because if someone has no other options, they could always seek to become a monk, and that way at least they would have food and shelter. And if they were lazy, they might take advantage of that. And if they didn't have sincerity or a master who was highly skillful, then they could really degrade the lay people's view of the practice of monastic Buddhism.
And do you know how the sutra transmission from India to China during the time? That means the sutra came into China at the beginning.
Well, it was from the Indian masters traveling to China.
I know, but in India, there are many small countries, and most of the king, right, most of the country trace the Buddha teaching. It's just like the national treasure. That means they prevent even the monk cannot bring any sutra outside the country. So what do they usually? Would you know what how they can be able to?
Oh yeah, when there was one who cut open their skin and put the sutra rolls inside of their skin
For many months.
Yeah.
Many months they walk and travel on by boat, right? And before they come to and you know what? the Sugan Brahma Sutra, when it arrived to China, at that time there were the minister, right? Yeah, he really good. And also his wife is the one who helped to when the sutra take out from the monk, the Indian master, and they be able to well the wood not appear. The wood is not appear on the maybe on the roll. You don't see the wood. And you know what? Big and the minister queen, the wife, she very skillful. She used the chemical to put on it, and you know what? Wood appear. That's why. That's how they can be able to bypass the well, anyway, and the minister, the one who helped the Indian monk to translate the sutra, and many sutra been transferred to China like that, and that means it's very tough on those days to see the Buddha teaching. And now you see that we have everything.
Oh
Even
yeah.
on the internet, many,
Yeah.
but we don't practice. That's sad. That means our offensive karma is so bad. it obstructs us from practicing the Buddha teaching. It's very okay. Anyway, so now it go to America.
Yeah.
And America right now it's very new, right? So the Buddha Dhamma is not strong enough, and so we need to have someone like you to be able to devote us into Buddha teaching and practice, and hopefully we can together help the Buddha teaching alive in this country. And you know how to make the Buddha Dhamma, the Buddha teaching alive in those country, in this country or in other country.
You gotta teach the children.
Beside that,
Oh, practicing it?
well, of course, practice, we have to practice. Otherwise, the Dhamma will not alive, right? And we well, the foreigner monk like me cannot make the Buddha teaching alive in this country. Cannot. But we can only help to train the local people here to understand the Buddha teaching and to become a monk. And they are the one to make the Buddha teaching alive in this country.
Oh yes, like people who are American born becoming monks and
Yeah.
nuns and devoting themselves to spreading the
That's
teaching.
like the Bodhidharma, right?
Mm-hmm.
He bring he bring the Dharma from the India into China, and he only teach a few disciples. And his few disciples later on, it's the massive, widely stressed to the entire country. That's the whole idea. And you remember the chapter 15 from the Lotus Sutra. The Bodhisattva emerged from the ground. And why the Bodhisattva emerged from the ground? The Buddha said, because all the Bodhisattva from the 10 direction came in and make a vow to uphold this sutra. And the Buddha said, no, I already have my own disciple. And when the Buddha said that, all the bodhisattva arrive emerge from the ground. So the same thing here. It means that in order for the Dharma to be um, alive, survive in this country, the foreigner is not the one, but they are the beginning. But the one who make the Dharma to be strong in this country is the local people. The native people, I mean, the American-born people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very tough. And that's why teaching the children, do you think it's easy?
No, no.
Not at all.
You're gonna have a lot of patience.
Teaching the
A lot of
children
patience.
is crazy. It drives me crazy, but it's okay. I'm okay. I still happy to enjoy the teaching. And you know what? Because the computer age, right? The digital age,
Yeah.
they always hook up into the device. And that's why the ability for them to focus very low.
Yeah, because they just get used to such a high level of stimulus
Yeah.
that's hard to replicate. It's like you gotta make a Buddha video game or something for them to really be interested in it. But what are you gonna do in the video game? Go around teaching the Dharma? I don't know. See how many people you can convert to the Dharma.
No, that's why teaching the kid when they have a very, very low focus in study, and that is the tough one. And that's why every my teaching, I play the Kahoot.
Mm.
That's how I attract them.
Oh, okay.
It works.
Because it's like they do a test at the end, so then
Yeah, they quit at
pay
the end.
attention.
But I always using the good story, interesting story. I
Mm-hmm.
let them read, and sometimes I let them do the reading as well, the watching the video. But important is reading,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to give. Let's say that you have 10 paragraphs, and each paragraph is one person, right? So you make them involved, all participated. And you know what? Right now, I have one girl. She helped me to do the teaching. Well, she followed me quite a bit for some 1 or 2 years, and now I asked her to help me to teach, and I give all my. I am the one who create the material for her, and she did a good job, very good job in teaching the kid. So
Nice.
because
That's
it,
good.
because it's her level and the kid very easy to get along.
Mm-hmm.
Myself and the kid, the age is too huge,
Okay.
too big. It it's a huge gap.
Mm-hmm.
And my accent is sometimes not good. So, but they born here, they good. So I am enjoying to see them interact each other and really good. I like the way she did. I show you here. Yeah, I show you on the Facebook. Um, every Friday, we have the Buddhist class for the kids from all level, from kindergarten to 12. They yeah, they come on, where are you? Where are you? Mm. Oh man, this browser is very slow. Yeah, there they go. Yeah. right? Okay. And when we do the Kahoot, I let her do all the teaching.
Was much for us to use on the way home. The gang immediately
Oh, nice.
went to the village and met a beggar named John. This beggar was not an ordinary beggar who only knew how to pay, but also she knew how to store rice in his house. The gang immediately came to ask to borrow rice from the beggar John. Thank you. Okay, someone tell me, who was walking through the village on their way home? Who was walking, what was the group of people walking on their way home?
And every paragraph, she asked them
Yeah,
questions.
then who asked who to go get rice? Is it? Yeah. And do you guys think the beggar was normal?
Pretty
Every
good. She
Friday,
did it.
every Friday we have the whole 1 hour, 1.5 hour. So basically, the first 1 hour is I let them do they bow the Buddha and they recite the great compassion mantra, and they also doing the sutra recitation in English. Everything in English, even the bow. And they also do the marriage transfer in English, and do the three refuge in English. And after that, they do the body scan, and they do the meditation, and they after that we have the Buddha teaching for the girl here. She do all, and she very good to recruit, and she have a very good heart that she asked all the kids to come and help her, so they be able to participate. And when they recite the sutra, she be able to facilitate. That means all kids be able to participate, because we have the microphone, right? And she pass out who is the one who each one of them read 1 or 2 verse, and they pass on. It's very good, very good. I like that here. The kid,
Excellent.
you see the body scan here.
Oh, yeah. That's great to do before the meditation.
Because the kid too young, they somehow they do not know how to read well. It's okay. This week that many kids, many other kids that they off, maybe near holiday.
Doesn't every way overcoming all troubles by the power to conquer, may I by the grace of the Dhamma defeat the hostile arming passions and unguarded thyself as Dhamma. Presenting myself thus in every way overcoming all troubles by the power to conquer, may I by the grace of the Savior defeat the hostile arming passions and unguarded thyself as Dhamma. I am surrounded by
So every usually we have 24, 25 kids every Friday, except for yesterday. It's only half of them, maybe near holiday. Okay, it's okay. So let's go back, and we just done for the day. Okay, go ahead.
We'll quote the closing verse. May all merit and virtue from this act to. Oh, that's a different one. He says,
Oh, did you see this?
I still see the Facebook screen. So what is it? I think I should remember it though. Yes. May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people can see and hear how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
That girl and she have all the four. They total 5 siblings. She the oldest. She
Oh, wow.
she now with 11 years. 11 Ray. She when in 2019, right? Let me stop this one here.